as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away, but I've known you to.
Already mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working with more data wrangling, specifically a polars category in data wrangling, where last stream I did work with lazy evaluations. The stream before that I did work with, let's say, what is the opposite of lazy? Hypervaluation. Wait, not hyper. Hold up, guys. Let me think that real quick. Okay, I forgot. If whatchamacallit, when I remember, I will tell you guys, but it does start with H. What is the opposite of lazy? Hold up. Lazy valuation. Before that, I forgot. What did I work with? There's no way. Okay, that's fine. I guess I'm going to be remembering it in a bit. That's it. Today, I will be working with expressions and pandas. So, let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and close that. Alright, guys, now let me just open my Visual Studio Code first. Okay, what was the evaluation that I was working on last stream? I forgot the name. Eager evaluation, there we go. Okay, finally, so last stream I did work, well, the stream before that I did work with eager evaluations, where pandas, let's say returns, or not returns, lets us display anything in the console without us explicitly saying it to display something on the console. Unlike lazy evaluations, it keeps on thinking and strategizing a to-do list as to what would be the fastest and most effective way to display a console output when we ask it to display output using the .collect method. Although I'm gonna go ahead and let's say grep cloud up here real quick, and let's say something like Sitsam live exclamation. Whoops. And yeah, I am gonna be using touch typing this stream as well. Since a live exclamation cute D isn't a phrase, guys. Very the cute came out there. Okay, there she is. Oh god, why does Claude every time, like not once, like I don't know how many times has it been since Claude actually is referring to me as a she. Oh my gosh. And today is not day 50, today is day 51. I forgot to explicitly say Claude that stuff. That said, 31 questions deep and you're still showing up. That's not luck, that's a pattern, and patterns don't break because a Monday exam got in the way. Yeah, I do have an exam this Monday, but today I will be, let's say, wrapping up polars and let's say start working with databases, which is going to be requiring me to work a bit with SQL. Okay, let me get this a little lower. So, okay, how in the world do you get this chair lower? Oh, I think that's good because I feel like my voice is much better if I'm like close to the camera, face front. Okay, our topic 3 is closed, which was lazy evaluations. Clean close. Okay, third attempt on that. Verbalization was sharp, and you knew to stop at 2 questions instead of forcing a third for no reason. That's a instinct more word than you think it is. Now we're standing at the door of topic 4, expressions, 0 prior exposure. I know you know we're standing from an actual 0, no assumptions. You probably picked this up somewhere. 1 method, 1 question, same as always, no dumping. Before I teach anything, quick check, because the rule says I ask first, not assume. Have you ever used the word expression? In a polars or pandas concept before, as in, has anyone ever showed you pl.column used outside of filter? You've seen pl.column salary greater than 60. That is an expression, to be honest. Living inside a filter call, that's the only home you've seen it in so far. Expressions are bigger than that. They're the thing underneath dot filter method and dot select method, the actual engine. So I want your honest read before I start building. Nope, never seen pl dot column inside filter. I've seen it inside select too, but never understood why. And guys, the mic freaking gets in my way every damn time. Can I like get the mic a bit away from me or like kind of rotate this stuff? There we go. Can you guys hear me if I talk like this? Because this is a perfect position to keep the mic on. Hold on. Let me just sort of get this here. And if I get closer? What if I go from here? From the top? Left? A little back? Okay, it does sound that I'm a bit back. But I think it's not that bad. Okay, I'm gonna now stop hearing myself twice. And let's move on. So before we start topic 4, quick checkout. So I've seen it inside select too, but never really understood why. Total 0, never heard. The 2 word expressions used in this way, okay. I have used pl.column inside filter. There we go. Nope. Only ever seen it inside filter. Good, that's exactly what I had on record. You're not hiding anything from me and you're not pretending you know more than you do either. Respect that, yada yada. Now, the honesty that makes this actually work. So here's the truth. I hand you before any code gets written. You already know what an expression is, I do. You just don't know that you know it. pl.column. Salary greater than 60,000. You've written that a dozen times. I did. You've just seen it used in one job living inside the dot filter method, answering a yes/no question about rows. But that whole thing, pl.column, salary greater than 60,000, is not glued to dot filter. It's its own standalone thing. It's called an expression. And an expression's real job description is much bigger than help dot filter decide. An expression's job is, here's a set of instructions for how to build or transform a column. Let me break it down piece by piece. No building, one concept at a time. Concept 1. So polars dot the column method, which requires salary as a parameter, or we've explicitly given salary as a parameter here. Okay, so pl.column by itself with nothing attached to it is already an expression, okay. Not pl.column greater than 60,000, just pl.column salary on its own is a complete valid expression. It means reference the salary column, that's it. It doesn't run yet, it doesn't return numbers yet, it's a plan. Grab this column, sounds familiar? I honestly think it sort of does, to be honest. Okay, let's see though. Yeah, same lazy plan energy as dot scan underscore CSV, which is a method from the let's say polars library in order to convert a regular data to a lazy data frame as opposed to a regular data frame. Hi, you're hiding Pixel, appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, some lazy expression, except this is at the column level instead of the whole data frame level. In Python, this means pl.column salary is not a list of numbers and not a series. It's an instruction object that says when you actually run me, go get the salary column. Concept 2. You can attach math to an expression and it's still just an expression. Nothing executes. So polars.column salary multiplied by 1.10 is this filtering anything? It is not filtering anything. No. Is this a Boolean check? Nope. It's a new instruction. Take the salary column, multiply every value by 1.10. Still hasn't run, just a plan. In Python, this means attaching asterisk 1.10 to pl.column salary doesn't calculate anything on the spot, it builds a bigger instruction that says here's how to calculate a new set of values saved for later. Concept 3, the dot select method. I have worked with the dot select method and the dot filter method alongside the pl.column method as well. Okay, dot select isn't just for picking existing columns anymore. It can execute an expression and create a brand new column on the spot using the dot alias to name it. Okay, I have never worked with the dot alias method. When are you playing Wuthering Waves? Actually, I think this Monday, my next gaming stream, I will be, playing Wuthering Waves, because I do wanna, get out of the confinement that I was on, last stream that I played it. I can't really log into the game anymore and, like, check the gachas, because they expect me to complete the story. But I have been waiting for my exams to get over and my, let's say, workload to get a bit, let's say, lower as compared to right now. That's when I was gonna be, streaming gaming as well. That said, I do need to have a workout stream or at least upload something on my Viv Workouts channel. So let me know if you guys have any recommendations for that. Okay, this is the part that is going to feel new. So dot select pl.column salary multiplied by 1.10 doesn't just filter or fetch, it produces a new column of raised salaries. And if you want to give that new column an actual name instead of a default one, you chain dot alias salary onto the expression itself. In Python, this means pl.column salary multiplied by 1.10 is the instruction for what to calculate. Dot alias new salary is a separate instruction for what to call the result. They stack onto the same expression left to right before that expression ever gets handed to dot select. I think I see. Okay. That's the full concept for question 1. Nothing more, nothing bundled in. Okay, now say it back to me in your own words. What is an expression and what is what's different about how you're about to use dot select compared to how you used it in topic 2? Okay, let me actually check how did I use the dot select in topic 2 real quick. Okay, so there's sprint and then that's 18, that's 19. Okay, so basically I used to use it to just display my values representing a certain key inside of my data or in my data frame. Now I can go ahead and use it for expressions. Yo, hiding Anshul, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let me go up here real quick and then let's say something like, so before I used to use, oh god guys, I used to use the dot select method to to display values from my data frame representing a certain key. Okay. What is AI? AI stands for like artificial intelligence / ChatGPT, Claude, let's say Copilot, DeepSeek, and all that basic stuff. Although they're the kind of bots that we really talk with. I feel like regular Google searches sort of an AI as well. I mean, it is an AI, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Say it back in your own words and how you used it in topic 2. However, I will use it to create expressions. Now question mark. I do not have let's say I do not have a better explanation because the concept is still vague. However, can I get a practice question so I can understand? What it really does? There we go, because Claude be asking me, an explanation in my words without I even try to work on this stuff. Okay, hold up, before we go on to a question, let's fix this now, because still vague is you being honest with me, yada yada, blah blah blah. No, you won't create expression with dot select. You'll create expressions before dot select. Everything gets involved with pl.column and math attached to it. Dot select doesn't create anything. Select just runs whatever expression you hand it and shows you the result. I see. Big difference. Okay, let me hit this from a completely different angle because clearly the abstract version isn't landing, so I'm dropping the code entirely and going pure real life. Pretend you have a receipt, or pretend you have a recipe card. The recipe card says, take 2 cups of flour, multiply by 1.5. That recipe card sitting on your counter is not bread yet. Nobody ate anything. Okay. No oven turned on. It's just instructions written down. That recipe card is your expression. Now you hand that recipe card to your oven reads the card, actually does the multiplying and hands you back real actual edited flour amounts you can touch. Your oven in this analogy is the dot select method. Dot select was never the recipe writer, it was always just the thing that takes a recipe and executes it, then hands you the result. In topic 2, you gave dot select a boring recipe card that just grab this column as it is, don't change anything. That's why it felt like select's whole job was to pick a column because that's the only recipe you'd ever handed it. Now you're about to hand dot select a recipe card that says grab this column, then multiply it. Same oven, same job, hotter recipe. Answer me this, plain words, no choice. In the flour analogy, is pl.column salary multiplied by 10 the recipe card, or is it the oven? It is the recipe card. Oh, I see. I see now. Alright, bro, I'll catch you then. Thank you, baby. Guys, thank you, baby. It's kind of crazy. That's it. I'll catch you next stream, Pixels. Okay, come on. What do you want to say? Okay, let's see. Okay, that I is the sound of concept. So now, question 22. Finally, 17 minutes on stream? Building your first expressions or requirements. Load employees.csv into a regular data frame using the pl.read_csv, not pl.scan_csv. This question is about expressions, not lazy evaluation, so we're keeping it simple and eager on purpose, okay? Guess we're gonna be using eager evaluations. In Python, this means read the file directly and immediately. The same way you did back in pandas and early polars. No plan, no dot collect needed, just a real data frame right away. Build one expression that takes the salary column and multiplies every value by 1.10, representing a 10% raise. Give that expression a new name using .alias method, okay, calling it raised_salary. Pass that expression into .salary so it actually executes and stores the result in variable, print the result. Alright, so I'm gonna get the instructions in the other window. There we go. And then let me just go ahead and create a brand new file here. So apparently we're gonna go ahead and create a brand new file called building your first expression. Wow, I did not get a file name. That's alright. I guess I'm gonna go with something like question 24 _ build _ first _ expression. Oh god, guys, what? There are a few days where I'm really good with touch typing, and there are other days where I'm absolutely awful with touch typing. EXPRESSION. And then I'm gonna give it the .py extension. What is wrong today? Why can't I type? There we go. Did you ever into FNAF? What does it stand for? Is it like a concept name? Or is it like a content in Wuthering Waves? Okay, let me go ahead and close that real quick. Now, first things first, since my program is gonna be, since my program is gonna be requiring a module level docstring, I'm gonna be adding triple quotes here, leaving that space blank, and then we're gonna go ahead and let's say import IMP ORT, import polars as PL. Okay, perfect. And then once we're done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say define a function called first underscore expression. Okay, which will not be requiring any parameters, but I will be going to a new line, and in my new line, requirements, load employees.csv into a regular data frame using pl.read_csv. Okay, so apparently we do have an employees.csv file here. Python, this means read the file directly and immediately the same way you did back in pandas. Okay, so I have never used this, so I don't know if I really need to grab the read_csv method in a variable. Yeah, I think I do need to, right? There we go. But I'm just gonna leave it like this for the time being. Build one expression that takes the salary column and multiplies every value by 1.10, representing a 10% raise. In Python, this means the recipe card. Oh god. Okay, in Python, this means write the recipe card, reference the salary column, then attach the 10%. Okay, how in the world do I use the alias? This is so vague. I haven't got any syntax reference here. I guess we're just gonna be going blind in this question. So, first things first, I read my recipe card, then I'm gonna go with something like the dot select. Okay, in my dot select method, I'm gonna go with something like, my equation. So apparently from my CSV, I'm gonna go with something like, okay, wait, here's the thing, hold on. No one ever said me that I can't really go back here, so lazy frame, dot scan, but I've never used my, okay, so this is my lazy frame. I've never really used anything besides that, so if I read stuff, I want to select my salary. Okay, so wait, actually, before I select my salary, I'm gonna go with something like pl.column, because now this is our, whatchamacallit, this is our expression. Now we're gonna go with salary. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and multiply my salary by, let's multiply it by 1.10. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add an alias to it, ALIAS. There we go. Called raised salary. There we go. Okay, I think it's pretty good. FNAF means Five Nights at Freddy's. Did you ever be into that? Actually, I've heard of Five Nights at Freddy's, but I've never really played it as much. Actually, I haven't played it in general. Okay, let's see. In Python, this means attach a second instruction to the same recipe card. Pass that expression into this thing and then print the result. Alright. Result is going to be equal to this. And then we're going to go ahead and print our result. Now I want to go ahead and check if this really works. Therefore, we're going to go with something like first underscore expression. I'm going to go ahead and invoke my function. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit Control S to save the code. Now, since I am using polars and that Python's default interp or Python's default encoder, which is CP12525, can't really run Polar's code because Polar requires more of a graph type stuff which regular Python's encoder can't really do. So I will be changing the environment and adding my custom encoder, which is UTF-8. Which should be able to run. To do that, I'm going to go to my terminal and first things first, change my directory to the place where my Python file, my question24 underscore build underscore first underscore expression.py, the place where it exists. Apparently for me, I'll have to change my directory once. Maybe I'm going to clean this. Okay, so I'm going to go with change directory to polars. Because my current file is under my polars section inside my 365 AI Engineering's category. Okay, and then next up, I'm gonna go with something like the dollar environment, env. Okay, where I'm gonna change my environment to Python IO encoding. Is that E? Was that E? Okay, that is going to be equal to quotes or lowercase UTF -8. And then I'm going to close my brackets. Close my quotes. Once we're done with that, I'm going to manually run my program now by typing, let's say py, and then my Python file, which is going to be called question24 underscore, let's say build underscore first underscore expression .py. Okay, perfect. And then let's go ahead and enter. Okay, apparently it just can't open this file. No such file or directory. Okay, so I cannot apparently get access to my file here. You know what? I think I know why. Wait, I'm not gonna create a lazy file, so we don't need results. Okay, is that your room gives Five Nights at Freddy vibes right now? Is that offensive? It actually does it. Hold on, let me just go ahead and go to my main camera. Okay, does it really give Five Nights at Freddy's vibe? Because I did on purpose leave my background a little bit dark, so everything my camera morely focuses on me and all that stuff. But I haven't really thought about it that way. Okay, let's see. Because I feel like darker background looks much better as opposed to like brighter background. Okay, and let me go ahead and let's say grab Cloud up here real quick. Let me go ahead and paste this and say something like, and say, I messed up because I did not know how to use the syntaxes. Okay, next time, can you also teach me how to use the syntaxes before, let's say, giving me a question? There we go. Again, guys, there are times where I'm really good at touch typing, while other times I'm absolutely awful at touch typing. Okay, stop, two things happen here, and I'm addressing both not the way you think. First, you skipped the prediction step completely. I asked you what you expect the output to look like before writing code. You went straight to code. That's not a small miss. That's the exact rule I told you exists specifically to catch when a concept is fuzzy, and it's fuzzy right now, which the code proves. I'm not letting this slide. Redirect before I touch anything else. Tell me in words, how many columns do you expect in that output, and what should the output be named? Second, and this is the part where I need you to actually hear me out, not just be told wrong. You didn't fail because you don't know the syntax, you failed because you skipped the word steps that would have shown you the syntax was wrong before you ever typed it. I see. Watch this, I'm not gonna fix our code yet. I'm making you read your own line back to me structurally, the same way we did with the recipe card. Your line broken into pieces. Read that left to right out loud as English, not code, okay. So pl.read underscore CSV, read a CSV, from where you gave it no file name. Dot select pl.column salary multiplied by 1.10. Okay, select the recipe card. Dot alias raised underscore salary attached to what? Look at the parentheses. Alias is changed into the closing parentheses of the select, not onto the expression inside of it. Here's the question that matters. In the flour analogy, is dot alias supposed to be a part of the recipe card naming that comes out of the oven, or is it supposed to be glued onto the oven itself? You already told me dot alias attaches onto the same recipe card, so where structurally should those parentheses be sitting? Inside dot select, right next to the multiplication, or outside select like you actually Answer that first, words only. Okay. The alias method should actually be inside the it should be inside the expression as opposed to the way I did it by adding it outside the expression. I see. Yeah, but sure, cat ears are faded in the dark. However, it's really nice when they're so obviously visible. Guys, actually, these things do look kind of like cat ears, to be honest. I cannot lie out there. Like, when I first got this, I didn't even realize that these two cushions make it look like cat ears. Apparently, it does. But that is if my head is like kept back straight up like this. But I mostly just get a bit in front of my screen unless I really grab my screen in front. What up, guys? I guess the screen is really in front of me. Oh well, my camera, I mean my mount, my mic's in mount, my microphone's in mount, can't really come that in front. So I guess we reached a dead end out there. Okay, think this should be good, right? There we go. Okay, I'm gonna move on to my gameplay screen again. Oops, I kind of shrunk that. Let me just remove that. There we go. Okay, that's the right answer, and I want you to notice something about what you got there. I didn't hand that to you. You looked at your own line, compared it against the recipe card analogy you understood a minute ago, and you caught the structural mismatch yourself. That's the actual skill syntaxes you can look up in 5 seconds, reading your own code and asking, does this match the concept? I just said that out loud, and that's the thing that makes you yada yada. Okay. Okay, now the second thing, still sitting there, unsolved, pl.read_csv with nothing inside the parentheses, no file name, read it back in plain words. What does folder need from you? Okay. It needs me to explicitly specify the file name. Oh god, why am I getting so many typos? Explicitly specify the file name of the employees.csv. Okay, I guess let's do it. It genuinely gives gamer vibes. That actually does sound kind of cool. Okay, let me go up here, and now we fix this stuff. So I'm gonna go with something like employees dot the CSV file, and then we use the dot select method, pl.salary, okay, and then the alias goes onto the ending right there. So if I'm reading this correct, I need to make this an equation, and then my alias does not go outside, rather it goes inside. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and copy this part. And we paste it. Can't open the file. How much time were you live streaming? Do you mean how many years has it been? Because I think it's like, approaching a year or something. Let me check real quick. Because I have been like programming or like uploading my programming content for over a year now, but I don't know how long has it been since I've been streaming. Let me go to my oldest. Okay, it has been 11 months. There we go. My last stream was like 11 months ago. I guess it's like next month is going to be the 1-year anniversary of me streaming. That does sound kind of cool, actually. Okay, correct. pl.read_csv, employees.csv. The file path goes inside those parentheses as a string. As it worked in pandas and every folder, that wasn't even a new concept. That was just a slip flagging it as a recurring. Watch it. Okay. Now, before you write the fixed version, I owe you the prediction step I asked for you to skip. Not optional. Answer this in words, no code. When this runs correctly, how many columns will be printed? How many columns will be in the printed output and what will that column be named? The column will be named raised_salary, and that there will be 3 columns printed. Okay, I mean minutes. I've been streaming for like 34 minutes now. I just started like half an hour ago. Okay, stop right there. Read your own answers back to yourself. There will be 3. Wait, there will be. Whoops, it was a typo. There we go. There will be 3 columns printed. Okay, stop right there. That's a real conceptual gap, not a typo, and I'm not letting it slide by giving you the number. Walk it with me. Where does the number 3 come from in that head right now? Genuinely tell me, are you thinking about how many columns are in the original employees.csv file or something else? Because I think I know exactly what happened and I want you to say it, not me. Here's the question that should crack this open. Go back to the recipe card analogy. What did you hand to the select method? 1 recipe card or 3 recipe cards? Look at your own expression. Print pl.column salary multiplied by 1 point this thing. That's 1 instruction, 1 recipe card, 1 thing to build. Now back to topic 2 when you did df.select name h salary. That had 3 things in a list, so you got 3 columns back. But that's not what's happening here. There's no list, there's no column 1, column 2, column 3. There's exactly 1 expression sitting inside those parentheses, so we counted 1 recipe card goes in. How many columns comes out? 1 column. I love your streams every day. You appreciate you, Pixel. That actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, 1 column exactly right. And notice what just happened. You didn't get there because I yada yada. Okay, this is exactly why the prediction step. If you had written the code first, run it and seen 1 column pop out, you'd have shrugged and moved on without ever noticing you've been silently expecting 3. The gap would have stayed hidden. Now it's not hidden. Good. Locked in. For real this time, 1 expression, select column, okay, raise salary, now rewrite this stuff. Inside the expression, change to the math. I didn't do that this time, so... alias is still outside, Okay, I think now it has to be syntactual, right? No. Wait, before I really go ahead and say that it's syntactual, I'm just gonna go a bit here. Build 1 expression that takes the salary column and multiplies every value by 1.10. Okay, so load employees.csv file into a regular data frame using pl.read. Wait, load it into a regular data frame. Okay, so data frame, I'm gonna go with df is gonna be equal to employees.csv file, and we're gonna go ahead and just say copy this part, and then I'm gonna delete this. We're gonna go ahead and remove our result for now, and then I'm gonna go with something like print my data frame dot, let's say, okay, so you go with that. Build 1 expression that takes the salary column and multiplies every value by 1.10. Build 1 expression. In Python, this means write the recipe card reference, the salary column, then attach the math for a 10% increase. Nothing runs yet at this point. You're just writing the instruction. Give that expression a new name using .alias, calling it salary in Python. This means attach a second instruction onto the same recipe card that says When this runs, call the resulting column raised underscore salary instead of some default auto-generated name. Okay, so if I understood that right, we go with expression that is going to be equal to my df dot. Okay, so write an expression. So I'm going to go with df dot pl. Nope. pl dot column. I'm going to go with something like df dot Okay, where am I messing up here? Hold on. I'm trying to get this stuff. I'm trying to like wrap my head around this. We created a data frame. So load employees.csv in a regular data frame using pl.read underscore csv. Okay. Build one expression that takes the salary column. Okay, so we need to build one expression. So pl.column is a singular expression as well. So build one expression that takes salary column and multiplies every value by 1.10. How do I get my salary column without the select? Positive, no filter. Okay, so I want to select my salary column and then I'm gonna go ahead and multiply my salary column by 1.10. And then I'm going to use the dot alias method. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and set the alias called raised underscore salary. There we go. Okay, and then once we're done with this, I'm going to go ahead and print it. Okay, so now it says pass that expression into select, so it actually executes and stores the result in a variable. Okay, so pass that expression. Okay, so we gotta pass this expression to a result variable. Print the result. Okay, let's go with something like print the result. And then I'm gonna hit Control S to save the code. Let's go ahead and copy this. Paste it. Alright, I should run into an error. I'm gonna copy this thing. Let's grab plot up here, paste it, and say something like, then say it right. However, I do not. However, I have never used the alias method, and that I have never seen a program that worked with polars as expressions. Therefore, I cannot trace it syntactually, even though I understand the concept. Oh god. Okay, stop, look at me, not the code. Okay, you just told me you can phrase it syntactually, I don't believe that. I'm going to prove you wrong, alright, using your own correct words from the message from 3 messages ago. Watch this. You said the alias method should be inside the expression. That sentence is 100% correct, so let's test it again and what you wrote. Read this out loud piece by piece and answer me honestly for each one, not what you meant, what you actually typed. Result.py. Wait, hold on a damn second. Are you kidding me? Okay, I still run into an error. Bye, I appreciate you joining the stream, Pixel. I'll get you next stream. Alright. Alias is at the ending parentheses. It's not inside my equation. I've got a select here. Okay, so there is an equal to anywhere between result and PL. Look, just look. Okay, that was on me 100%. PL.column df.select salary multiplied by 1.10. You put df.select salary inside PL.columns as parentheses, but PL.column takes a column name, a string like salary. Is df.select salary a string or that a whole separate data frame operation you just nested inside another one? Alias method raised underscore salary, no quotation marks around raised underscore salary. What does Python think raised underscore salary is with no quotes? A string or something else like a variable name that doesn't exist yet? Answer all three one at a time, plain words, don't fix the code yet. I want you to find these by reading the same way you found the .alias placement issue on your own 2 minutes ago, because you can do this, yada yada. Okay, so question 1. I missed the equal to sign. Question 2. Okay, for question 2, pl.column df.select salary multiplied by 1.10. You put df.select salary inside the pl.columns as parentheses, but pl.column takes a column name. A string like salary is df.select salary. Is that a string? Or is that a whole separate data frame operation you just nested inside another one? I should not. Oh god, I hate my screenshot shortcut. I should have not put the df.select inside the pl.column, because df.select is not a string, rather it is a data frame. Okay, and then question 3. Alias raised underscore salary, no quotation marks around raised underscore salary. What does Python think raised underscore salary is with no quotes? A string? Python considers it a variable as opposed to a string. Now, I will fix my code before I send these answers to you. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with a period, and then let's go with Shift Enter. Say code. Okay, now let's go ahead and fix the code out there. One expression does not go inside another expression, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's say delete the whole thing. Result is gonna go ahead and not be pl underscore column, so okay, let me think this part. So there are three things that we need to use here. One is the PL underscore column expression. The other is going to be our df underscore the df dot select method. Okay, and yeah, this is the wrong syntax. I'm just trying to get everything in the table, what all I know for now. And then we're going to be using the pl dot or the dot alias. Okay, so these are the three things that we need to use. And reading the instructions again. Build one expression that takes the salary column and multiplies every value by 1.10. So we're gonna go with the expression that is going to be equal to pl dot column that requires salary. Okay, pl dot column, it requires salary, but how is it gonna know which is my salary here without me using the select? It's fine. Okay, so salary multiplied by our salary asterisk 1.10. Give that expression a new name using alias. In Python, this means attach a second instruction to the same recipe card that says when this runs, call the resulting column raised underscore salary instead of some default auto-generated name. What is your major? I do want to get a major in computer science because there isn't a, let's say, bachelor's degree or let's say a degree in general for AI engineering. I mean, there is, but the field is changing so constantly that most universities can't really keep up by updating their courses. So a computer science degree is pretty safe for now. Unless later on they do changes and like we get a static AI as a degree, which I highly doubt we're gonna be getting before I really graduate, that is. For the time being, I am a freshman. Result equals to pl.column, okay, df.select.alias. Okay, I guess now we use the dot alias, which is going to be something like raised underscore salary. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and use the df.select. My expression. Okay, I don't really know how much this is gonna be. Oh wait, my bad. I keep running into an error. Are you a university student? Actually, I am a freshman in college. Raised underscore salary is a string now. Should I put the df.select inside? The pl.column because df.select is not a string. Rather, it's a data frame, and then it said that you put df.select salary inside pl.columns as parentheses. But pl.column takes a column name, which I did give it a column name. A string like salary is df.select a string. Okay, but it takes a column and then... That is an expression. I do not know it as an expression. Okay, that is 100% an expression. That's the expression variable and then df.select. Okay, wait, what does the df.select take? I explicitly gave my df.select, so... Name and a salary. This requires a pl.column. You know what? I think let's try something new. I'm gonna use the filter. Nope. Let's go with Control A, Control C. Hi, how doing, MR Universe? I appreciate you joining the stream. Let's go ahead and paste it. And I messed up again. Oh god, guys, with the whatchamacallit, with the should I say phases increasing with me going more into, let's say, new concepts and everything, Claude is getting even more stricter, so it does not really give me the answers, rather it expects me to think the answers just by dropping a few hints. That just kills my brain, but I kind of appreciate that stuff. It's me, Said Ali. Welcome me, bro. Welcome to the stream, Mystery Universe. CSE AIML AML. I'm doing a major in case AML. Huh, I see. I actually haven't heard of that. CSE does stand for computer science, and what does the E stand for? Engineering? Okay, hold on, don't say you messed up yet. Look at what just happened. All three of your answers were exactly right. Missing equal to caught. df.select is in a string, caught it. No quotes means Python reads it as a variable, caught it. That's 3 real bugs you found reading, not by guessing. You are phrasing this syntactually. Stop telling yourself otherwise. Now you fixed a lot. df.select expression is a real improvement in structure, and building the expression as its own variable first is actually a clean pattern. But there's one thing left, and it's hiding in plain sight inside the parentheses you just wrote. Let's find the same way you found that last 3 by reading, not guessing. So pl.column salary multiplied by 1.10 dot alias raised underscore salary. Walk this with me piece by piece. pl.column salary multiplied by 1.10. What's inside those pl.column parentheses? Not what you meant to put there. What's actually sitting there is salary by itself, or is it salary multiplied by 1.10? What's inside those parentheses? Okay, think back to the very first question. Salary by itself with nothing attached is already an expression. It means reference the salary column. Where does the 1.10 match actually belong? Inside the pl.columns' own parentheses. Next to the column name or outside? Okay, wait, I guess in that case, what I should do is add a pair of parentheses here. I want to start AI machine learning, but I'm confused about it. Bro, you're so intelligent, guys. I'm anything but intelligent. That said, if you guys do want to really start off with AI engineering and really don't know where to begin with it, and that you guys are an absolute beginner when it comes to AI, but you guys do have some prior Python's experience, or if you guys are a beginner in Python as well, you guys can join my Discord server and either go to the Coding Helps chat, the Python's chat, or the general chat. I'll mention my name there at Viv Universe. And based on you guys' skill level, either ask me for a basic Python's roadmap, which is really detailed, and it is the roadmap that I did personally use to learn Python. Or you guys can ask me the AI engineering's roadmap, which I am currently using for this series, that is pretty beginner friendly and detailed as well. You guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in the description, through my bio, or by typing exclamation Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. A link should pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. That's it. Computer science engineering, artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's CSE AI. Oh, AI machine learning. In case AI machine learning was typing mistake. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, that said, we got our alias out here, and then we got our salary out there. Then let's hit Control S to save the code, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and copy this. God, Claude is getting way too strict these days, but it's not as bad. Let me read what Claude said again. Think back to the very first thing I taught you in this session. pl.column salary by itself, nothing attached to it, is already an expression. It means reference the salary column. Where does the asterisk 1.10 math actually belong inside the pl.column? Inside PL's column's own parentheses next to the column name, or outside pl.column attached after it closes. This is an expression on its own. Control S, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paste this here. Whoops. Python, it's Python. I see. Which language is this? It's Python. Okay, let's see. Guys, I'm trying so hard here. I still can't think. Let me read the instructions again. Or, well, the thing again. Say it in words first. Where do the parentheses needs to close so the math happens on the outside of pl.column instead of jammed inside of it? So where does the parentheses needs to be in order for this to happen outside? I did that though. I got it outside. Unless we did not really need a parentheses and that the dot alias, this is the dot alias I don't think can possibly be connected like this, can it? Okay, look, there is no harm in trying. Yep, knew it cannot. Okay, I guess I'm gonna answer Claude first. I mean, I know it needs to go outside, but I can't get it to work. Where does the OBS crash? Okay, did not good. Okay, so where does the asterisk 1.0 math actually belong inside the pl.columns? I am positive that it belongs outside. However, it feels more like a guess because I do not have a hypothesis as to why. I mean, I know it's outside, but oh god. Expression pl.column multiplied by salary dot alias raised. You need parentheses around the thing. I did try with the parentheses around the thing as well. The column name is salary, not SALARY. SALARY. Column name is salary, not salary multiplied by 1.10. If I were to go with Control Z here, I did try that stuff too, didn't I? I added a parentheses. I'm pretty sure I tried this as well. Like, let me hit Control S to save the code. Let's run it. There, see, I did try it. So pl.column salary, so pl.column, then we have salary multiplied by 1.10. I did do that exact same thing though. Claude is great teacher. I just wonder what if it can teach us like real teacher in real world. It would be amazing. That actually does make sense, guys. Eventually when I do get better at, let's say, AI engineering, I'm going to be creating a lot of mini AIs like this who are going to be really, really helpful. You guys never know if it helps like actually create a humanoid robot teacher. What's the error? I couldn't see it. So the error basically says that, let me just exit this stuff. So it says no such file or directory. So it says no such file or directory. SALARY. So there is no such file or directory. EMPLOYES .csv. Okay, it says no such file or directory. I'm gonna go with Control A, Control C. Copy that, paste it, and say, I messed up again. I get this error. I think I should have sent the error to Claude at the very beginning. What the hell am I doing? And now, that's not a code issue. I knew it. I freaking knew it. I should have done this before. That's a file issue. Two things happen here. I need to slow down, okay, but because you skipped a step and you're about to misdiagnose the actual problem. First, the security rule, you ran the terminal command, okay, yada yada. Second, and this is the actual bug, you didn't answer 3 questions from last message, and I think that's why this error caught you off guard instead of you predicting it. Let's fix that gap right now, fast. Because it actually explains why this error exists. Look at the error message. It has nothing to do with Polar's expression. .alias or anything we've been debugging. Read it in plain English. Python went looking for a file named question 22. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Question 22 underscore build is that folder. It does exist there. That's it. That's the entire error. Question for you. What did you actually name the file when you saved it? Doesn't match the question 22. They are in two different folders, aren't they? Right? This stuff isn't polars. I agree. It looks like a file issue. Error numbers. No such file. Couldn't see the rest. Maybe it's looking at the root or wrong folder. I see. And in case you guys can't really see my entire window, you guys can move on to the horizontal stream. That's where I do display my whatchamacallit, my entire screen in whatchamacallit, in a landscape mode. Before you answer that, go back and give the 3 answer for my last message. Wait. Okay, so why is this not executing? My file does exist inside this, and my employees.csv is in my folders section as well. The file path is correct. My file consists of three columns where I do have a salary, a salary in my CSV file. I gave the correct file name. This file does exist inside of my folders, this folder here. Your camera is blocking the error. Alright guys, apparently I'm getting in the way. I guess we're gonna hide our camera. I mean, I'm gonna hide my camera real quick. There we go. So that is the whole error. You know what? Speaking of which, why don't I get my camera to the left? Like, let me hold both and then I'm gonna go there. Does that like help? Whoops. There we go. I think that helps, right? Oh, now it's giving me like a different type of side. I'm not used to my camera being to the left. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just close this here. Let's go there. Let's exit my OBS. Are you reading this chat? Actually, I am reading the chat. Okay, left click the file. So left click the file. Okay, and then click relative path. Wait, copy? Okay, so wait, click relative path. I see copy relative path. Okay, and then change directory. Whoops. Okay, polars cannot find path. Not that file, the other one. The other file. Oh, the py file. Okay, you're spamming messages here. Okay, so copy relative path, and then we're gonna go here. So this is build first underscore expression. Okay, I'm gonna go with cd. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna clean this and let's start with a brand new clean slate. So I'm gonna go ahead and change my directory to polars. Okay, and then we're gonna go with something like a $environment. I'm gonna change this to Python IO encoding. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with something like equals to UTF-8. Okay, and then let's go with something like py. Question 24 underscore build underscore first underscore expression, build underscore first underscore expression. Dot the py extension. Okay, so now we get a file error. Yeah, never mind. This is weird. That actually does make sense. I'm like, if the program is correct, it looks correct, syntaxes are good. What error could it be? It's not. It's so strange. Wait, let me say something like, let's say my program actually looks correct. However, I do not see why can I not execute it. That's actually kind of weird. So let on, you just skip some parts without noticing. I asked you separate stuff. Let's separate what's actually true from what feels wrong. Claim my program actually looks correct. Is that a check you performed or a feeling? Because I want to walk you through it with you, not just take your word for it. Same way we've done every other line so far, but first, the error has nothing to do with whether your program is correct. Read the error one time slowly and answer me literally, not conceptually. Does Python ever get far enough to even look at your code in this error? Think about it in order. What has to happen first? Python finding the file on disk, or Python reading the lines inside the file? If the file can't be found, has a single line of your expression to your .alias, your df.select, any of it even be looked over yet? Answer this first, then we go check the actual project folder. What is the file literally named? Open your folder if you have to. Don't guess from memory, and does it match? So build build underscore first underscore ex ex. Oh my gosh, I had a typo. Guys, I had a freaking typo. See the spelling here? EXPERESSION. EXPER. EXPRE. Are you kidding me? I spent a whole freaking, whatchamacallit, almost an hour? Oh my gosh. Guys, I want to smash something so bad. No way. EXPRE. EXPRE. SSION. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's no way I spent a bajillion years doing that stuff. It worked. Bro, how? Guys, I don't even know how that happened. Yo, hiding Miko, I appreciate you joining the stream. Guys, how in the genuine world did that happen? Oh my god. I spent so much time. Alright, I guess I'm gonna be sure to check those things from next time. I found it. It was not a code error. As opposed to that, my file name when I executed the program had a typo. Guys, this is the programming mistakes 101. Fixing your typos. This is why people copy paste. Now let's actually look what ran, because this is a real payoff of the whole exercise. Raise salary 220,000, 64,900, 66,001. Shape 3x1, 3 rows, 1 column. Remember way back when you said 3 columns? Okay, I meant 3 rows in that case. Walk it forward, 1 recipe card went to .select and Polar just proved it. 1 column comes out, name exactly, raised underscore salaries, nothing else survived. Name the original salary column, gone. Just one thing you built, that's the whole concept sitting in front of you as real output inside a theory. 2 small things before we close this question out. 1, blocking the cosmetic flag, blocking your terminal command still went unshown before running. I let the debugging happen because you were mid-diagnosed of a real error, but going forward, py file name in the terminal gets shown to me first as some code. Confirm you've got that. Cosmetic not blocking flags. Okay. Oh, I need to add the doc string. God, finally. Yeah, then I'm gonna go with something like time complexity, which is going to be, let's say, something like on, and then I'm going to say something like this program PROGRAM. This program uses methods from the Polars' library. And increases the salary by 10%. Okay. Using an expression. Okay, let's go with Control A, Control C, Control S, copy that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab ClotUp here. There we go, and then let's go ahead and paste it. Even though it took too long, it's so satisfying once we got it. Look at this line closely because it's not wrong. It's just lose, and lose is exactly the kind of thing that passes a quick skim but wouldn't survive you reading this file in 3 months. Okay, this program uses methods from the Polars' library and increases salary by 10% using an expression. 2 problems, not cosmetic. Both word fixing uses methods from the Polars' library. This is true of literally every Polars' program you will ever write. It says nothing. It's the docstring equivalent of describing a car uses parts from the automotive industry. What specific thing is happening? Building an expression. Okay, then handing it to .select to execute. Say that, not the generic wrapper around it. Increases the salary by 10% using an expression. This buries the actual teaching point of the whole question inside a subordinate clause. It's like it's a minor detail. The whole point of question 24 was build a recipe card, then hand it to the oven and watch one column come out. Your docstring should read it like it knows the point, not like the expression. It's not like the expression, it is a footnote to increasing the salary. Rewrite it into sentences, plain English in this order. What does the expression itself does? References salary, multiple renames via alias, the recipe card. What .select does with it? Executes it, produces exactly one new column, the oven, try again. Okay, what are you trying to do? Actually, today's topic is data wrangling, where I am working with Polars' let's see, expressions category, and there will be like 2 more categories before I really move on to my next should I say section called databases, where I'm going to be working with SQL and all those basic stuffs until I don't really have a mini project that I'm going to be creating for phase 1. In case you guys are completely blank as to what I'm talking about, let me show it to you guys. Why you sound like a kid? Guys, sound like a kid is kind of crazy. I am 18. Okay, let me get my roadmap out here. And if you guys do want access to this roadmap, you guys can join my Discord and mention me either on the Coding Helps Us chat, the Python chat, or the general chat, asking me for this roadmap while mentioning my name there at VivUniverse. I will be personally DMing it to you guys after the stream. You guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in the description, through my bio, or by typing exclamation Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. That said, so I am currently under a series called AI Engineering for 365 days, where my goal by the end of this series will be to make an agentic AI. Okay, there we go, that is my final project 8. However, I've got about 8 phases in this roadmap. After every phase, I work on a mini project that covers everything that I've worked on this phase. Starting with the Bedrock phase, which is phase 1, where I worked with advanced Python, developer tooling, data structures, and algorithms. I'm currently under data wrangling's Polars' category. After that, I'm going to move on to databases, where I'm going to be working a bit with SQL and all that basic stuff. And then I'm going to work on my project 1, which is me building a fully automated web scraper that runs daily, cleans the data, and stores it in a PostgreSQL database. I kind of have no clue about what I'm going to be doing there. But maybe once I'm done working with the databases section, I'm going to have much more of an idea. And then for phase 2, I'm going to be working with math and machine learning. That's it. Back to my question, I guess. Let's grab ClotUp here. Oh, wait. What the expression itself does. Reference salary, multiple renames via the alias. Okay. This program uses a method from the Polars library, increases salary using an expression. For the expression... Okay, so for the expression, Okay, what question did Claude ask? It's so hard to phrase stuff. Okay, what the expression itself does. The expression? Okay, what does it do? Let me think. References salary, multiplies rename. Okay, so the expression is a recipe card, RECIPE. The expression itself is a recipe card. Let me go with itself. The expression itself is a recipe card that references the values from my salaries this column. Okay. Hey bro, what language is this? It's actually Python. How much time to learn for this much of coding? How much time to learn for this much of coding? That really depends on how much time do you spend per day programming. I would have been way up ahead in my programming series if I didn't earn my AI engineering series, if I did not really have college. Cause for the time being, I do program for like about an hour or as long as I do stream for, and everything that I do off stream is me working on my college stuff and my exams and all that stuff. That said, back when I first started my Python for 100 Day series, I used to literally wake up, program, and then sleep, wake up, program, and then sleep. It was like a 100 Day series, so by the end of the series, I did make a game using PyGames. And speaking of which, back when I first started my Python for 100 Day series, I was an absolute beginner when it came to programming. So it really depends on how much time are you willing to invest in learning the programming language. That's it. Let's see. Okay, the expression itself is a recipe card that references the values from salaries. From my salaries this column. And then multiplies it by 10%. 1.10. Okay, which is basically 10%. And uses the dot alias method to rename it. Okay, so we do not get a random name. Okay, let's go with Control A, Control C, copy that, Control S, save that, grab Claude up here real quick, and then let's go ahead and paste it and say something like done. Please tell me, close the expression sentence is genuinely good now. You corrected said references, multiplies, renames in the right order. That's real understanding showing through. But you didn't actually fix what I flagged. Look at your own docstring. This program uses methods from the Polars library and increases salary by 10% using expression. That sentence is still there, word for word, sitting in front of your new one. I didn't ask to add a sentence after the vague one. I asked you to replace it. Right now it says okay. Also, small thing but real, recipe card is our analogy from the conversion for your understanding. It's not Polars' terminology, and it's not something a docstring should lean on, because 6 months from now or anyone else reading this file won't know that recipe card means. Without this exact conversation attached, the analogy did its job getting the concept into your head. Now translate it to what it actually is, an expression. So the expression itself references the values, okay? This program uses expressions that references the values from my salaries column and then multiplies it by 1.10, uses the alias. Okay, let's copy it. Yo, let's go. Appreciate you. Widdy, is that how you pronounce your name? It actually means the world to me, man. Okay, so SQL and PostgreSQL is like query language. It's easy to learn. Of data scientist and learning AI engineering, you must try LangChain and LangGraph. Also very important for AI engineers. Actually, in my Discord server, I do have a whole category for LangChain, but I haven't tried it yet. I may really try it. How about RAG? I will be working with RAG in my programming series as well. Okay, but that's a bit later on. I mean, to be frank, it takes like maybe a month or two to learn Python. That is actually true. Python is really easy. And the entire roadmap is like 1-ish hour a day. Okay, yeah, that does sound kind of cool. Okay, let me go ahead and grab Claude up here real quick. Let's paste it and say something like done. Okay, let's say, let me move on to, yes, the weak sentence is gone, the recipe card, but you still haven't answered the thing I've asked you 3 times. What does the select do with that expression? Your docstring ends. The moment .alias happens, it never says the expression gets executed, and it never says a single new column comes out of another side. That's not a small omission, that's the actual punchline for the whole question missing from the summary of the question. I'm not asking again, add one more sentence to the end. Tell me when this expression gets handed to select, what happens and what do you get back? Okay, the expression gets handed to the select method after it has been wait, did the question ask when does it get handed? Let me check that real quick, hold on. Okay, so when this expression gets handed to select, what happens? Okay, and when the expression gets handed to the select method, it displays the data frame. Okay, let's copy that. Let's hit Control S to save this stuff. Let's go ahead and grab Claude up here real quick, paste it, and say something like done. I wouldn't really say done. Read your last 5 words back to yourself. It displays the data frame that's backwards, and it's backwards in the exact same way 3 column was backwards. A few messages ago, you already corrected this one. .select does not display the df. The df is your original data frame, name, salary, all of it. It's sitting untouched in the df variable. What the .select produces is a completely different brand new thing, a data frame containing the exact 1 column, raised underscore salary, and nothing else from the original. Say it back to me, no code. When select runs on the original file, df gets shown. Does the original df get shown, get modified, or stay completely separate while something new gets built and returned? Answer that. A data frame, okay. Okay, what does the select produce? Say it back to me, no code. When .select runs, does the original df get shown? No. Gets modified? No. Or stays completely separate while something new gets built? It stays completely separate while something new gets built and returned. Huh. Okay, correct, and say the rest out loud too, because something new is still too vague for a docstring. What specifically gets built? Not something new. Name it. How many columns and what is it called? When the expression gets handed to the select method, a new data frame gets created and displayed on the console and returned. Okay, oh god, guys, this is taking too long here. I'm trying to get the send sparkles for 2 jewels. Huh, what's that supposed to mean? A new data frame gets created and returned. It's factually true, but you drop the specific part again. I just asked how many columns and why and what is it called? 1 column, 3 rows. No numbers, no name attached. That's the third thing. Okay, question 24 is done. You have both pieces already. You said it a lot. Put them in. Okay. With 1 column and 3 rows. Okay, and usually I don't really say Claude 2. I usually would have said Claude to move on to the next question, but I feel like I'm getting a better grasp of it this way. Say that only raises salary column is displayed. There it is. Question 24 is closed. Oh my freaking god. 1 hour and 30 minutes for this question. Finally. Confirm the terminal thing. Then tell me you're ready for question 25. Ready for question 25. Yeah, I do not know what to confirm. I'm not probably going to waste time in that. New concept taught alone, nothing bundle. You already know. Wait. That's the right place. No stalling either. Let's go. Question 25 stays inside expressions but shifts the recipe card is built from question. Question 24 was 1 column transformed by the operation. This time you're building an expression of references 2 different columns at once, which means you need 1 new piece of vocabulary before I hand you the requirements. New concept taught alone, nothing bundled. You already know pl.column salary references 1 column. What if your recipe card needs to combine 2 columns, say bonus plus salary, into 1 new value? You don't need a new method for this. You just write pl.column salary plus pl.column bonus. 2 separate pl.column calls, each one on its own tiny expression referencing its own column combined together with a normal Python operator. Still no execution. Still just a longer recipe card, I see. Oh wait, I forgot. There we go. Okay, in Python this means pl.column salary and pl.column bonus are each independently saying go get this column, and plus between them matters. Once both are actually fetched, adds them together. Nothing fetches yet. It's still sitting on the counter uncooked, waiting for .select. Question 25, combining 2 columns and 1 expression. Requirements: load employees.csv using pl.read_csv. Eager same as 24. Build 1 expression that adds the salary column and the bonus column together. Rename the result of that expression to total_compensation using the alias method. Pass expression into select. Okay, this shouldn't be as hard because I already worked a bit with it. What's the difference between using pl.column and pl at index of column name? pl.column is something that we use in pollers, while no wait, pl at index of column name, I don't think that we do that because I did that using the let's say pandas' module. Wait, hold up. Let me really go to a new file real quick. I'm just gonna name the question here and then let me just get more into that question real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go with combine 2 columns into 1 expression. I'm just gonna go with something like combine 2 columns.py. Okay, now back to the question there. Hold up. Let me just set this py. Okay, so apparently if I were to go to one of my, let's say pandas' file where I did use the column, maybe question 20. There we go. Okay, so apparently we use pl.column, and pl is a universal term that we use for like pollers. But we use pl.column and a column name for pandas, while if I were to go inside, well, when I said pandas, I meant pollers. But if I were to go under my pandas section, I mostly used, let me go to a question here. There we go. Okay, this is aggression. So, wait, not sure, maybe a bit higher. Okay, hold up, let me try and find the question real quick. This is fill now. Okay, so usually we just go with df, not even pl, because this is our data frame. That's how we do work with pandas. Instead of using a method, we just go with an entire data frame at index of the column name, which really gives me access to the values representing that column. Okay, and yeah, it shouldn't be PL, it should be DF, but that's not for polars, it's for pandas. Both does do the same exact thing though. Okay, let me go up here real quick. Now, let's go ahead and read the question 25, but before that, I'm gonna be adding a bonuses category. Okay, where I'm gonna go ahead and add some bonus. Let's see. So Alice has some bonus, Bob has some more bonus. My bad, I thought it's pandas. Actually, no, it is polars. Okay, I wouldn't really blame you. Pandas and polars do give the same vibes, but polars is, let's say, the newer version, while pandas is a decade ago. Polars is considered faster than pandas as well. How much bonus should I give? 1,000, I guess. I'm not gonna waste too much time in this. 1,000, and then let's go with something like 1,000. There we go. Okay, now moving on to question 25. Again, this is going to be having a module level docstring, so I'm going to go ahead and add triple quotes, and then let's say I'm going to go ahead and import polars as PL. Okay, and yeah, PL is the universal convention for polars, while for pandas we go with something like import pandas as PD. Okay, they are sort of similar but kind of different in the same way. Okay, let me go here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and define a method called combine expressions. Let's go with combine underscore expression. Okay, so combine combine underscore expression, which is going to be requiring a parameter load employees.csv using pl.read underscore csv. Okay, so it says load. Back to question 24. There we go. So I'm gonna go with something like df is going to be equal to pl dot read underscore csv, since my freaking employees.csv file is a csv file. This is going to be requiring a parameter of what file do I want it to read. I'm gonna go with employees.csv. Okay, and then once we're done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way down here and read the next part. Build one expression that adds the salary column and the bonus column together. So I'm gonna go ahead and create an expressions variable. Okay, which is gonna go ahead. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Which is gonna go ahead and add the salaries as column and the bonuses column together. So I'm gonna add them two columns together. I'm gonna go with something like my polars dot column. I want to go with my salaries as column. Is gonna go ahead and increase by, let's say, my polars at index of column, which is gonna be my bonuses column. Okay, and this is gonna be inside of a parentheses because it is an expression. Okay, once we're done with that, rename the result of that expression to compensation using .alias. Let's go with .alias. Alias is going to be total compensation. TOTAL. There we go, total compensation, perfect. And then once we're done with that, we pass the expression into select. So I'm gonna go with something like another variable called result that is gonna be equal to let's say something like polars dot select. I want to go ahead and select my expression. There we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and print our result. Alright, perfect. I'm gonna delete that. Now, let me go ahead and invoke my function. I'm gonna go with COMBINE underscore expression. Okay. Looks easier than pandas, to be honest. The functions are self-explanatory. That actually does make sense. I actually felt that too, to be honest. It was just a bit awkward to move on. Now that I do move on, it feels like this is so much more easier as when compared to the syntaxes. Because in pandas, we had to use like square brackets or like df at index of df with another square brackets and then add a column name there, if that makes any sense. Now one issue though when using this stuff, as opposed to pandas, which could execute using Python's default encoder, which is CP12525, for running this Polars program, I need to set the environment to a custom encoder, which is UTF-8. So I gotta always do this before I really run my program, or that I cleared my terminal off. I'm gonna change my directory to Polars, because I need to give it the exact place where both my CSV file and my Python file exists. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna change my environment. So let's go with something like $env, which is going to be Python IO encoding is going to be equal to quotes UTF -8 close the quote, and then now I'm going to manually run my program. So I'm going to go with py and then my file name question_25 question25 underscore combine _2 _columns .py. Wow. Oh wow, we ran into a bunch of errors. Salary invalid, comments invalid. It's one small issue, I know that much. EXPRESSION. Combine EXPRESSION, okay. UTF-8. Isn't that the default for every Windows Python, UTF-8? Actually, no, because if I were to run my program, I mean, it really depends. There we go. So if I do run my program regularly, it's gonna say me that I get a error, where it does not really say my, whatchamacallit, my encoder here. Let me actually Google it up real quick. I'm gonna go with Control H, and then let's go with CP. Custom. Hold up, guys. Let me go with encoder. There we go. Okay, so if I were to open this, and then let me grab my Claude up here, and then let's get this in this window. It says resolving Python's Unicode error, which is the error that I did get before as well. It says this error occurs when Python tries to encode a Unicode string, which is what Polars really returns, into a limited character set like CP1252. Oh, it's not 12525. Or CP437, it cannot do that stuff. The issue arises because the default console or file encoding cannot handle characters like L with a slash in there, use UTF, -8 encoding for outputs explicitly setting UTF, yada yada. Okay, so apparently we do gotta like set that stuff. If you use command, it will work, I guess. I get the point. The terminal runs a Debian or Ubuntu based shell. I see. I actually did not know that part. Okay, but for the time being, I'm trying to like fix this. So we go with pl.select. Okay. Oh. My bad. Okay, we still get a small little error. Did I save the code? Oh, I did not save the code. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? There we go. This should work. Nope, still does not. Code saved. Let's see the next error. Oh wait, I think the error got significantly smaller. Wait, that is expression. EXPRE. Okay, and then let me try running it. Okay, so it says engine callback df.select. Okay, it does not really give me an actual header, so read underscore CSV. PL.column salary plus PL.column bonus. Both are... Wait, my bad. There we go. Okay, that was where I messed up, alright. There we go, works. df at index of column equals df at index of column 1. Why are you not using this? I think it's much more easier and clean, but that is for like pandas. I'm working with polars right now. If you use command, it'll work, yada yada. Okay, so basically, say that only the raise money column is displayed. Okay, so basically where I did mess up was I forgot CSV files cannot really have space as a character unless we really add a comma after it, which means I have to do something like this. But I did not really need that stuff, so that works. He's using polar, not pandas. Guys, everyone really messes that stuff up. Like, are they that similar? I mean, I did say that they were similar and all that stuff as well. Okay, let's see. Let me grab this here. Let's paste it, and then I'm gonna go with Shift Enter. Let's add my doc string real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say something like time complexity, which is gonna be something like ON. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna say something like this program. Okay, so what does this program do? Let me think real quick. So this program, let's say, reads content, reads content from a CSV file, and creates an expression there. It adds bonus to a salary, to all salaries. There we go. So it adds this stuff to all salaries and stores the value in... Actually, no, man, I'm not gonna go with that. And later sends the expression to the select method. Okay, which converts the expression to a... It does not convert the expression to a data frame. That was the place where I made it before. To the select method. Which creates a new data frame and displays it on the console. There we go. Okay, sends ends the expression, okay? Bonus to all salaries. Changes its name to using the alias method. And later hands it to the stuff. I'm gonna go with Control A, Control C, copy that, grab Claude here, paste it, and let's send it. How do you remember all these syntaxes? I'm actually quite bad at it. I did 10 real world data cleaning projects a year ago. Now it's like kind of dim knowledge. How do you remember them for a long time? I think repetition is key. The more you practice with these things and the more you try solving problems, like I love what Claude is doing for the time being. If I'm getting a mistake or an issue, it's not really giving me the answers. As opposed to that, it's telling me how to solve it syntactually, and that is making me use my brains critically, because once you, let's say, solve a question using critical thinking, it kind of gets stored inside of your long-term memory. It is how strange, it is pretty strange the way our brain really works. Once you get something stored in your long-term memory, it just stays there. Okay, but still, I did not fully master these syntaxes here. These are me just making mistakes and, let's say, fixing the mistakes and all that stuff. Later on in this series, when I'm going to be working with phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, all the way up till phase 8, I will be using these concepts again and again in more, let's say, complex way or in a more advanced manner. For the time being, for phase 1, I'm not expected to master every last concept. I'm just expected to know that these concepts really exist. So that's a really nice thing that I liked about my roadmap out here. That's it. Is it just me, or like, is the stream a little bit blurry? Let me just check that real quick. In OBS, my stream is always so clear. Everywhere else, it's pretty much dull. Let me fix my lighting. Okay, and is my lighting kind of awful out here? Okay, that's it. Start before I even look whether it ran correctly. We have a repeat violation thing right there. You ran the terminal command, yada yada. I need you to actually say something. It's not... And not just not past it. What's the rule in your own words, and why are you doing it differently, starting with question 6? What are you doing different? Now, since the code and output are already mic testing. Okay, let me go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Guys, my OBS apparently crashed, and what in the world just happened to my camera? Okay, is it just me, or does this look like better than my freaking old lighting? Does this lighting actually look better? Because usually what I do is that I go to my properties, configure video, and change this thing to like -7, which gives me more FPS, but again, it does come with its own lighting tweaks. But -5. Wait, what was I at? What settings was I at again? Is this any good, to be honest? All I need to do here is go to my properties, configure video, and I'm gonna go ahead and change my contrast, 134. Oh wow, everything is saved. I love to see that. Hold on. -7. Is this like any better actually? Oh wow, this makes this thing look really bright. -6 with decreased brightness. Nah, I think -7 is good, to be honest. Gonna hit apply, okay. And then let's go ahead and move on to my gameplay screen. Nope, I love the -5, but this is fine. Okay, just let me know which exposure do you guys think is good. The good news is it worked, and it worked because your prediction reasoning was correct. You clearly understood bonus had already existed. Docstring issue. 2 real issues, not cosmetics, adds bonus to all salaries that describes the math correctly but skips the piece. You know is true, and you should say pl.column salary and pl.bonus are 2 separate expressions being combined with the plus sentence. Your sentence makes it sound like 1 column receiving an addition rather than 2 independent column references being added together. Changes its name typo cosmetics. Adds, let's say, 2 columns together. One is a bonus column, and the other is a salary column. Okay, and then changes. changes. Let's go with Control A, Control C, Control S, grab plot up here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, since this question is done, I feel like we should be moving on to the next topic. And speaking of topic, there we go. How many more topics are left for my bowlers? Okay, let's see. 25 closed doc string for size nav and 2 columns name, but you didn't answer my question. Okay, yada yada. Okay, 3 topic with new and databases. We still want to do it. So expressions in progress, 2 questions. Wait a minute. Do still do expression. This one currently open under your feet. Confirm terminal rule. Then we. Okay, do you feel like moving past to expressions onto group by and aggregations? Or is there another rep? I feel like I am ready to move on. Not because I mastered expressions, but because I know how it works now. Later on in this series, I will get more practice. So no point mastering every topic now. There we go. That's right. Okay, yada yada. But you still haven't answered my question. The third time I've asked, I'm not letting this dissolve in the excitement of moving topic before expression. Say the terminal rule back. The terminal rule is that I ask you before I run a terminal-based command. Okay, let's see. Good, that's the rule. Correctly stated. Say the second half too, because I asked for both parts. What specifically are you doing differently? Starting with the next question, not the abstract. I actually forgot the second part. That's honest, yada yada. I forgot the second part. Okay, this is the second part in the last 4 messages you told me. Felt unclear, forgotten rather than predicting. Keep on doing that. Okay, so let's actually build the second half together because I know the rule and I know what changes in my own workflow are different things. The same gap as mastery versus understanding, just applied to behavior instead of concepts. Walk it through with me. You've finished writing a new file. Question 26 code sits in VS Code saved. You're ready to see it run. What's the very next thing you type? And where into the chat with me? Or straight into the PowerShell terminal. I sent it on chat first. Okay, that's the whole second half. Alright, okay. Expression close. Now group aggregation confirm 0 prior exposure, so we're starting on completely new scratch. You know what, since I've been streaming for 2 hours and then I got an exam on Monday, I'm probably going to be ending the stream and working with, let's say, group by and aggregations next stream. We got 2 more topics left. I wanted to be done with pandas this stream, but I will be trying to be done with the next stream or the stream after that. After Monday, I'm going to be having more time, so that's nice. Okay, so I guess for the time being, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my main camera. And alrighty guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe and notifications turn on. And if you guys did enjoy my content /videos /live streams, make sure to share my channel because like helps my algorithm sharing, makes you smile, and subscribing to get you on top. That said, if I did find a way to simultaneously stream across different platforms, while encoding my stream only one time, I will start multi-streaming across several platforms. The reason I did stop doing that is because streaming simultaneously across several different platforms does eat up a lot of bitrate, which results in a lower stream quality across all different platforms. So if you guys do know a method, let me know. I will start streaming on different platforms such as Twitch, Kick, YouTube. Nope, I do stream on YouTube, but Twitch, Kick, Trovo, Instagram, and TikTok. Instagram and TikTok specifically if I did meet the followers requirements. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. The link is going to be in the bio. And you guys can get access to any of my socials in general by typing !social on chat. A link should pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. That said, if the link does not pop up, which means the social does not exist, all lowercase, no space as well. That said, I did create 2 brand new channels, one called Viv Arcade and the other called Viv Works Out, where Viv Arcade is specifically meant for my workout content. Nope, Viv Arcade is specifically meant for my gaming content and Viv Works Out is specifically meant for my workout content. So if you guys are interested in either one of those genres / categories and / or that you guys want to check those channels out, you guys can get access to those channels through my homepage. If you guys scroll all the way down, you guys will find featured channels section. You guys can go ahead and click them featured channels and check those contents out and definitely give me more recommendations as to what games I should try, what workout challenges should I do, etc, etc. And if you guys do want to follow me in my AI Engineering for 365 Days series, and that you'll want the roadmap that I am currently using for this series, you guys can join my Discord server. Either go to the Coding Helps chat, the Python chat, or the general chat. Mention my name there at VivUniverse, asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap after the stream though, which it is almost over. You guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in the description, through my bio, or by typing !Discord on chat. All lowercase, no space. A link should pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. That said, I'll catch you guys next time for more video. Peace. Guys, let me know if I was talking like really fast out there. Hey, quick question. Where do all of these like learning and trying out stuff do you actually go for concepts wise, like a roadmap or something, any theory or like any guide, something like that's on or off stream? Actually 99% of everything that I do is on stream, and yeah, I am currently following a roadmap which I did ask Claude to generate, and it is pretty detailed. So if you do want access to it, you can join my Discord server and kind of ask it from me. Okay, how do you remember all syntaxes? If you wear a plain t-shirt, it will suit you. Actually, I haven't really thought of that. Let me see, because currently I am wearing a t-shirt, but it's not a plain t-shirt. I may really try one though. That said, I'll catch you guys next time for more video. Peace. That was the second time I peaced out. So let's end the stream. Before I end the stream, I'm gonna go to just chatting. Okay, I need to remove the side chats from here. That looks kind of awful. It does not really look awful, to be honest, but if I were to, let's say, get another thing here, because I'm pretty sure my chats are still on here. Hold on, guys. Before I really end the stream, I'm gonna just go to my main camera. Oh, the chats do exist. Okay, I'm probably gonna add a white overlay around this stuff. That is gonna be something off stream, so I'm gonna go to my main camera, and let's end the stream.